All right, so in this video, I'm going to share with you a weird, controversial approach to self-improvement and personal development. Something so weird, so controversial that vast majority of people will never do it. The vast majority of people will become very uncomfortable and shake in their boots at the mere mentioning of this simple 3-step process. Step 1 is to understand and accept that to really get better at something, you have to realize the ways in which that you need to be better. Step 2, you need to invest time and energy at getting better at the things that you realized in step 1 that you needed to get better at. Step 3 is making some kind of progression because you have done steps 1 and 2. And then the other half of step 3 is to repeat steps 1 and 2. To repeat steps 1 and 2, number 1, realize to really get better at something, you have to realize and acknowledge and see and find the ways in which that you need to get better at that thing. And then step 2, to invest the time and energy to correct those errors. And step 3, hopefully make some progress or progression, and then repeat steps 1 and 2. And what this means is actually looking at errors, looking at misunderstandings, looking at inefficiencies in our system, and then correcting those errors, correcting those inefficiencies, and refining our mindset, refining our understanding of the subject, and thereby refining our skill set in that subject. And if an individual is not doing those few simple things, then it's very likely they are engaging in what's called procrastination, or just spinning their wheels, or they're engaging in some other type of behavior that will very likely not lead to the actual outcome that they're looking for. And if these simple things are not being done and not being engaged with in a meaningful way, then it probably implies that that person does not actually want to improve or develop. And this leads me to the final point, which is people often wonder in my videos, why am I so harsh, mean, and critical and judgmental? And why am I such an asshole? Why am I such a dickhead? Why am I so arrogant? Why am I so opinionated? All these things, right? About things that which people are typically not critical or opinionated or judgmental, or looking at the subject in a pragmatic way, meaning people aren't applying these basic faculties that we all should have to things like therapy, self-help, personal development, and spirituality. And the reason why I am that way, or people perceive me to be that way, is because I am applying steps 1 through 3 to these particular endeavors, to the mindsets, to the philosophies, to the ideas, to the methodologies, to the progressions, and then also looking at the people that are going through them and seeing if they are actually developing, and if they're actually correcting their errors, if they're actually improving or actually being helped. So then if I see that they are not, then I'll say, oh, well, here's why. Here's how this is probably the error, and here's how it could be better, or here's perhaps a more efficient mindset, or something that seems more correct and true and valid and meaningful to me, which of course people can disagree with, people cannot want to hear it. That's fine. That's life. I mean, we all have different opinions, different life experiences, different goals, different values, these different things. Of course, there's not a one-size-fits-all approach, except for basically what I'm talking about in the video, which is a one-size-fits-all approach, because it's been used universally by basically everyone that's ever been good at anything. I would encourage you, if you don't think this is true, to just perhaps study the biographies of any great athletes, great musicians, great scientists, people that have actually been good at anything. And I guarantee you, beyond a shadow of a doubt, they've engaged in steps 1 through 3 that I just outlined before, repeatedly and consistently over a long enough period of time. Or do they just never realize that this is what's required? So then maybe just realizing this is what's required is what's required, so then they can do that, and then hopefully that can be the thing that is a catalyst for genuine improvement and personal development. Because genuinely, that's my aim, that's my motivation, that's what I want for people, that's what I want for myself. So of course I want it for other people, which is to genuinely improve, genuinely feel better, genuinely have a better life, have better relationships, and be a more positive impact on the world at a small scale and a large scale, which is the only way we really get to that point is by being mature enough, intelligent enough, competent, and capable enough to realize the ways in which we need to be better, and then invest the time and energy to getting better at those things, and then repeating that process. Then hopefully over a long enough period of time, things actually can improve. But if we're not actually willing to look at our errors, willing to look at the ways in which we are confused, have misunderstandings, have inefficiencies, have poor understanding of things, poor application of concepts, then we'll genuinely never improve and things will absolutely stay the same.